Good morning. Good morning. I'm Cito Beltran, and you are watching the program Agenda on Signal TV channels 8 and 250 and the live Facebook platform of One News PH. It's May 7th, Thursday. That means 8 days to the finish line of ECQ. But the question is, will it really be lifted or shifted to GCQ come May 15? Well, I'll wager it won't, because judging from the way some people have been feeding the media, have been giving us bits and pieces, it would seem that it is more likely another extension will be made, and this is my basis. Just yesterday, you watched as I read the news, and I mentioned in the news that presidential spokesperson Harry Roque shared with the media that seven local government executives had approached Malacanang to extend ECQ in their areas. Now, this morning, there's a news item inside the Philippine Star that says Mayor Edwin Olivares of Parañaque City, who is the current chairman of the Metro Manila Council, has expressed support for the extension of the ECQ beyond May 15 because of the situation in Metro Manila and because several local government executives have also signified their desire to extend the ECQ in their respective areas. Now, so between the spokesperson, between seven LGU executives, between the chairman and the chairman of the Metro Manila Council, I guess your guess is as good as mine. That chances are it will be extended. Now, what's the basis? I'll share that with you later. But for now, let's go to the headlines. On the Philippine Star front page, the headlines: President Rodrigo Duterte has no hand in the franchise issue of ABS-CBN. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque said Duterte is neutral on the matter and will not take it against Congress if they pass a new franchise bill or not. The president has openly criticized the network in the past, but the palace has also gone on record that President Duterte already accepted ABS-CBN's apology. Meanwhile, Solicitor General Jose Calida came to the defense of the NTC, saying the blame for the closure of ABS-CBN lies with Congress. We'll hear more about that from Congressman Edcel Lagman later in the program. On a related matter, business groups are urging lawmakers to renew ABS-CBN's franchise. These groups include the Management Association of the Philippines, or MAP, and the Makati Business Club, or MBC. Both MAP and MBC said in a statement that they support a balanced and fair and swift consideration of the filed bills to renew the network's franchise. In another matter, local government units continue to face challenges in the distribution of social amelioration program financial assistance. As a result, there may be another extension in handing out the cash aid. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año said that the National Capital Region is having the most difficult time to complete the distribution with over 1,700 barangays in the region. Meanwhile, Parañaque City Mayor Edwin Olivares, current chairman of the Metro Manila Council, is pushing for the extension of the ECQ in Metro Manila beyond May 15. In the education front, expect curriculum changes from primary to secondary grades as the Department of Education prepares for the new normal. Secretary Leonor Briones said the department is working on a Learning Continuity Plan or LCP, which will take effect on the 24th of August, the target date of school opening. LCP will include adjustments on the K to 12 curriculum alignment of learning materials, and new training for teachers and parents to conduct learning at home. And that's most of the headlines for the Philippine Star. And let's move on to our first interview. We have with us on the line or on video, First District of Albay Representative Edcel Lagman. Good morning, Sir Edcel.
Good morning, Sito. It's good
Aba,
to interact with you again.
okay. Well, I must say, you look great under ECQ. You lost weight, pumuti ka, and I think you have a goatee in the making.
Well, it's that goatee should be part of the new look under this present situation. But
Okay. Go
yes,
ahead.
okay, okay, Sito.
Okay. Anyway, no, I was just going to say, is that evidence that you are behaving and staying under quarantine?
Well, I follow strictly the protocols.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the hottest topic to date, which is the ABS-CBN franchise. I don't know if you've read the front page of the Philippine Star or the banner stories. And it seems that we now have a very interesting story. Sayang nga lang, hindi Holy Week. Kasi kung Holy Week, ang daming Pontius Pilate na naghuhugas ng kamay at marami ring mga nag-a-accuse regarding whose fault the ABS-CBN closure is.
Well, before we go to finding out who are at fault, most probably, Sito, will start with who are the victims
Okay.
of this closure of a network. One, the first victim is really ABS-CBN Corporation because its operations have been shattered. Number two, the freedom of the press and free expression, which have been unduly derogated despite the fact that they are protected and guaranteed under the Bill of Rights of the Philippine Constitution. Then next would be the thousands of employees of ABS-CBN, including indirect workers, as well as enterprises who are dependent on the operation of ABS-CBN. Like, for example, small food shops in the compound of ABS-CBN and small beauty parlors who would be available for artists and talents appearing in ABS-CBN program, among so many others.
That's interesting, Congressman Lagman, because as you know, I used to be a ABS-CBN talent, and if you were to gather all of the restaurants, parlors, supply stores, etc., surrounding, not just inside ABS-CBN, but surrounding ABS-CBN, there would be enough businesses there to fill Mega Mall. So, hindi po konti yung mga tinamaan. Although, of course, tinamaan na sila because of ECQ. But in the long run, you are very correct. Yung lang small businesses na yon, sapu lahat.
They are doomed to lose their livelihood.
Okay.
Now, and the fourth victim is the viewing public, who are now deprived of an accurate, continuing information coming from the network, despite the fact that we are now feeling the ravages of COVID-19. So all of these would be victims. There could be other victims, but these are the principal victims of this ABS-CBN franchise fiasco.
Okay, so we're clear on who are the victims. Now, who are the perpetuators, the infectors, or the criminals?
No, I'll just say very lightly and very diplomatically who are at fault.
Hindi, alam mo kung bakit ko sinabing criminal sa Congressman Lagman? Eh
Uh-huh.
kasi si Cardo Dalisay, napatay nila eh. Sa probinsyano, baka hindi ka nanonood eh.
Well, kilala ko yan.
Okay. Anyway, we're just trying to lighten the very
Well,
heavy discussion. But okay,
I,
who are
I
at
hope
fault?
I hope he will be resurrected very soon.
Okay.
Now, who are at fault? Well, initially, it's the president. Because from the very start of his presidency, he already announced that he would be opposing any renewal of ABS-CBN's franchise. And he would not sign any law granting such renewal for alleged personal reasons like ABS-CBN's failure to air completely his political ads in the 2016 presidential elections. Number two, it's the House leadership wherein the leadership succumb to the intervention of the president rather than exercising consensuously and with seriousness the constitutional power of the Congress to grant or not to grant, to renew or not to renew congressional or legislative franchises. In this case, there are about 12 bills pending in the House, one of which has been pending since July last year for the renewal of said franchise. Other bills were filed even earlier in the previous Congresses, but we are not talking about those bills because we are talking about the 18th Congress.
Okay.
Now, another one who is at fault here is Commissioner Cordoba of the
Gamaliel Cordoba.
Cordoba of the National Telecommunications Commission or NTC for initially and incorrectly assuring the House leadership that he would issue a provisional authority despite the fact that the ABS-CBN's franchise would have expired. And then subsequently, he accordingly flip-flopped because NTC does not have the authority to make such provisional authority under existing laws as well as jurisprudence. And then some quarters would be also at fault for suggesting so many solutions which were in legal limbo. Like, for example, that the Congress, the Senate, and the House should have a joint resolution or concurrent resolution expressing its sense that they are willing to extend the franchise. According to the Supreme Court, in the case of NARDS, the Nurses Association, no resolution or concurrent resolution can substitute for a law in amending, extending, or modifying an existing law. In other words, not a mere resolution, but an actual statute or law.
Of law.
That is why I have been saying from the very start that there is no solution to the dilemma of ABS-CBN except the immediate and seasonable renewal of its franchise. Now,
Okay.
we have that opportunity because Congress is in session and we are going to have our session up to July 5. There is sufficient time for that.
Okay, but you also said that way back. I think, if I'm not mistaken, before COVID-19, pinag-uusapan nyo na itong franchise ng ABS-CBN, and you actually, if I'm not mistaken, filed a motion, a resolution, or something supporting the issuance of a franchise to ABS-CBN. And yet, nothing happened because the Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano, said we have more other priorities. The chairman of the franchise committee, Franz Alvarez ba yun, said marami pang nakapila, and then they all disappeared. And so what guarantee, and I'm not picking a fight with anyone here, Congressman, because Solgen Calida said, put the blame on Congress. Lito Atienza said, kami ang may kasalanan. Nagkulang kami. Now, should the members of the House of Representatives raise a howl, or are they also collectively all guilty by omission and by their silence?
Well, speaking of that resolution which I filed, almost 100 members of the House, not including those who did not sign anymore because they were authors or co-authors of the 12 pending bills, already urged the leadership to act and act soon as. But, we are surprised why until now the speaker is even numb on what he's going to do. But I think it is high time for the public to raise the howl. It's high time for the private sector to do the same. They are doing it now, and the affected groups should also do that, and so that Congress, the leadership of the House, will hear loud and clear that there is critical immediacy in approving the renewal of the network's franchise.
Okay, Congressman Lagman.
That we have this forum because this will be one of the venues where such activism would have to be projected.
Okay, Congressman Lagman, I'm not a congressman, never been a congressman, but ikaw, veterano ka na. Alam mo lahat ng galaw dyan sa loob ng Congress. Now, I just realized last night that it would be unfair or just illogical to expect Alan Peter Cayetano to spearhead the issuance of a franchise at the risk of displeasing or embarrassing President Duterte given his long-held position. Kasi merong nag-iintay na Lord Alan Velasco sa gilid. He has constantly been under the threat of replacement by this other wannabe or would-be Speaker of the House. So, should people continue to believe, listen, or expect the current Speaker of the House to even support the ABS-CBN franchise, given that he could be kicked out as Speaker?
Well, it's like this. The President has already relented because he already accepted the explanation as well as the apology of the executives of ABS-CBN. And just yesterday, the presidential spokesperson said that the president is neutral on this issue. So that is now a go signal for the Speaker of the House to proceed in considering and approving the renewal. But I think the posture of neutrality of the president may not be sufficient. It could be still ambivalent. What is needed would be a categorical go signal for the reenactment of the renewal of ABS-CBN's franchise.
Is there anything?
A posture of neutrality is not sufficient.
Yeah, I know. Okay, position of neutrality is there. A posture of neutrality is evident with the president. The official statement has been issued by the spokesperson. But what can the members of Congress, you and the 100 plus people who signed your resolution a few months back, do to force the issue? I mean, nanggigigil ako, Congressman, kasi ang dami nating problema. We have people dying on the streets, in hospitals. We have an economy that's about to implode because of recession. And here we are, we're all distracted by something that Congress can do in one day. Am I right or am I wrong that you people can do it in one day?
We can do that in one day. or at least 2 days. Remember, we enacted the Bayanihan Act in one
Exactly.
special session day. Now, we have this group of congressmen and congresswomen who signed my resolution, uh, wherein about 100 signed the resolution. And I would reiterate my plan to transform this resolution to a motion to discharge the Committee on Leasing Franchises so that the bills would have to be referred to the plenary for deliberation and approval. And I hope
Can you please repeat that, Congressman, to discharge the Committee on Legislative Franchises of their duties and their powers?
that's correct. And but there would be the need for a majority vote on this, and I hope that the members of the House will cross party lines to support such a motion. But that motion may not even be subjected to approval. It's a gun which is poke on the leadership, and according to the Spanish philosopher Salvador de Mariaga, a gun that will shoot is more eloquent than the gun that has shot.
Okay. Interesting quote that you have. But my question now is, do you think it would be to the president's advantage if at the end of the day he says, tama na yung gulo na yan. Bigay nyo na yung franchise kung gusto nyo. Kasi iba yung si spokesperson Harry Roque ang magsalita. Iba kung si presidente. And given the fact, and I salute the president for this, given the fact that he actually apologized to Manny V. Pangilinan and the Ayala brothers for the hurting words that he said, and that he did it on national TV na hindi scripted, na hindi practiced. I hope springs eternal that the president could possibly say, bigyan nyo na para matapos na yan. Gusto ko rin mapanood si Cardo. What's your sentiment on that?
You are perfectly correct, Sito. I think we need those magic words from the president so that the House will act expeditiously in granting the franchise. That's why I said a position of neutrality is not enough. There must be a more categorical, clear signal to proceed in renewing the franchise of ABS-CBN. Unless, of course, Sito, there is a hidden agenda in all of these skirmishes.
Oh, are you suggesting something? Kasi na-intrigue ako kay kay Senator Sani Angara kagabi. Sabi niya, nangako sa amin ng NTC pero mukhang may nakakausap on the way to the decision. Biglang nagbago. What sort of agenda are possibly holding back the ABS-CBN franchise?
Well, in the first place, I think the NTC is legally correct.
Okay.
So we should not be blaming NTC for doing that. What we are blaming NTC for is its commissioner's initial statement of assurance when it could not have been done anyway. But everything is set already. That the president said, I accept your apology. The president said, I will be, according to his spokesman, neutral on this issue. Well, what are we afraid of in the House of Representatives? Because I'm sure in the Senate they're going to approve the renewal if the House would pass it on to the Senate. So if we are not moving this fast, if the president does not make a very categorical statement, there is a suspicion that there is a hidden agenda for the closure of ABS-CBN. What is that hidden agenda? Let us wait for facts and events to unfold.
Okay, I suppose that would be the mature thing to do. And I agree with you that the NTC was simply bound by law and by definition of functions. But on the other hand, is there reason to believe that either NTC Commissioner Gamaliel Cordoba did not know what he was talking about when he concurred with Congress na pwede naman bigyan ng provisional authority? Or would you have reason to believe that it was a delaying tactic or an attempt to mislead or delay the process para pahabain na lang yung usapan tapos sabay sara yung kumpanya?
I think Commissioner Cordoba has been there in the NTC and has survived at least 3 administrations.
Okay.
So he should know the law. He should know the extent of his authority. That's why I have a feeling that he was making false assurances when in fact he knew he could not do it. I said, and I hope I'm wrong, I think Commissioner Cordoba and the Speaker were playing charades.
Okay, well, given that scenario, will Congress demand that he be fired? Kasi nangyari na ito in the past, and hindi naman ako nansusulsul congressman, ano? Pero nakita ko na, if I'm not mistaken, it was the NTC that at one point, one of the congressmen in the past Congresses got so annoyed or so angry at the NTC na sige, okay, bigyan ng pisong budget yung mga yan. Given your impression that they were playing charades, given that Gamaliel Cordoba ought to know his job and the extent of what he can commit to, will you or are your associates in Congress inclined to ask for his resignation or for the president to terminate him?
Well, that is the president's call because he has the power to appoint and to dismiss executives in the department which he heads. But I think for a person or an official which finally did his job, he should not be fired.
He should not.
He should not be fired, but he
Okay.
should be shown not to make false assurances in the future.
Yeah, but Congressman, and not because not because I am partly kapamilya by history, no, by genetics. But the thing here is, hindi naman po ito yung parang, oops, nagkamali ako, sorry na, tao lang. 11,000 people did not sleep well last night. 11,000 people are wondering if they have a future, and millions of pesos are lost from each day that ABS-CBN does not function. I mean, are we going to in Japan, the guy would have hung himself already or committed harakiri. Now, ito parang, okay, he did this job, finally did this job. But when he did not do his job as per your statement during the hearing in Congress, it caused financial ruin for many people.
Well, Sito, if we read or hear the tapes of the proceedings, he made some conditionalities.
Okay.
Which would temper his assurance. He said that in accordance with the law and jurisprudence.
May kolatilya pa rin.
May kolatilya. I think the media missed that, and what media stated was what the speaker wanted to hear.
Yan ang problema eh. Kasalanan na naman namin.
Hindi naman. Because the more provocative part was his statement of assurance.
Okay, I guess.
The Colatilya was most probably put under that more provocative statement.
So I gather that you are not also supporting Benny Abante's position to just close down the NTC.
These are knee-jerk solutions to a problem.
Okay, well, I really enjoyed our conversation today, Congressman Lagman, kasi mabuti na yun. You're able to guide us, you're able to balance things out. Kasi, syempre, manggigigil tayo. It's emotional for many of us, especially for me in media. And given your history and my history under martial law, masyado nang mahaba yung pinagdusahan natin, ayaw nating maranasan ng iba. In any case, thank you very much for your wise words and the information.
Sito, just a final word.
Okay, sir.
You mentioned about EDSA. One of the lessons of EDSA is that we should promote, protect, and defend press freedom.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Congressman Edcel Lagman. Please stay safe, stay strong, and stay healthy, and God bless you, sir.
Same to you, Sito.
Okay. That was Congressman Edcel Lagman. At least we got all sides. We were able to put out everything there. And he does not support the abolition of the NTC. He believes that in the final tally, Commissioner Gamaliel Cordova of the NTC still did his job, and that his commitment to the Congress was based on a colatilla or the provision that everything will be in accordance with provisions of law. Okay, so at least we are getting a better picture, but at the end of the day, the question is who's going to make the next move? Because either the president can show magnanimity, can show that he has been consistent, and just say, bigay nyo na. Or the members of Congress, as Congressman Lagman has said, can rise up and tell the Speaker, we want the members of the Committee on Legislative Franchises relieved of their responsibility, and the deliberations in that committee be put in the plenary so that it can be addressed by all. So at least may mga ideas, so we will see how things go. Okay, let's go for a quick break, and we'll be right back here on Agenda. Mayor Vico, Sotto, kamusta na dyan?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. Kamusta ka na?
Okay lang.
Looking good. Sige, at least you sound okay. Thank you very much. I'll get back to you right after this break. Sandali lang
Okay.
tayo. Okay. Okay, you're back watching Agenda on Signal TV's channel 8 and 250 and the Facebook platform of One News PH. We now have on the line Pasig City Mayor Vico Sotto, who can give us an update what's happening in our beloved city. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Sito.
Okay, Mayor, makibalita lang kami. Kamusta na po dito sa ating mahal na bayan, syudad ng Pasig?
Mabuti naman po. Still challenging as from the start, but we have had some good developments. Even dun po sa bilang ng mga kaso, bagamat medyo mataas pa rin, So I'm not saying that we should relax, but there is some good news. Yung curve natin, hindi na siya exponential eh. Medyo nagfa-flatten out na siya ng konti. But still, I think now is the right time to be even more vigilant. We're implementing the quarantine stricter than ever. Our centralized quarantine facility, we made a bigger one and will be operational by this week. And we're doing a lot of things para tuluyan nang ma-flatten yung curve.
Okay, paglilinaw lang, Mayor, are you one of those mayors who is suggesting, requesting to the President or to the IATF na ma-extend pa yung ECQ?
Well, this is the most difficult question to answer, Sir Sito, kasi kailangan i-balance natin yung tinitingnan natin yung virus mismo, yung health issues, dun sa socio-economic or economic issues,
Yeah.
But I believe that hindi naman sa pinapasa ko sa kanila, but the one with the best perspective on everything is really the IATF. And whatever they decide, kasi nakikita ko Pasig. Pero sila, mas nakikita nila yung national, yung NCR, nakikita nila from a broad perspective. Tingin ko naman, whatever the decision may be, whether we extend ECQ or transition to GCQ or whatever type of quarantine, the most important thing is that we have a solid plan that the LGUs will be able to adapt to their respective localities.
Yeah, well, the reason I asked you the tough question, Mayor, kasi ako, I'm a Pasig resident, tiga Barrio Kapitolyo ko, and the general impression I've been picking up online and sa mga kaibigan is that Pasig City is handling the quarantine very well, and parang may expectation na sa ganda ng sitwasyon sa Pasig, mabilis tayong makaka-transition sa ECQ compared to Navotas, may hard lockdown. Mandaluyong, may 2 barangay na sila ngayon for hard lockdown, and also in Manila kasi may problema pa rin sila. So I'm just wondering kung isa ka dun sa mga mayor na nakiusap ma-extend, or do you feel given the Pasig situation na mas madali tayong mapupunta sa GCQ?
Alam niyo, Sir Sito, ang pinakamalaking challenge na nakikita ko papuntang GCQ ay yung transportasyon. And I've talked to other mayors about this and some of our national officials. Out of everything, this will be the number one because the amount of transportation that we can provide to the public o yung pagbubukas ng mass transit natin, this will also determine what businesses we can open, how much activity can we have. Kasi kung hindi, doon lang tayo maghahawaan sa mga bus, sa mga jeep natin. We have a transport plan in place in Pasig, but we also have to see ano yung sasabihin sa amin ng DOTR, ano sasabihin sa amin ng IATF. But so far, it has been the biggest challenge because definitely we can't go to 100% capacity right now. 50%, tapos i-open natin lahat ng mga businesses or marami sa mga businesses, ang mangyayari dyan, hahaba lang yung pila sa labas. So it will be very difficult to maintain social distancing with that kind of situation.
Okay, what is the scenario in Pasig? Kasi maraming tao hindi naintindihan kung gaano kalaki itong Pasig. At marami tayong factories, mga planta, warehouses, at saka tayo rin yung parang food capital ng mga sa Central Metro Manila. Ano yung mga nakikita nyong pwedeng magbukas? Meron bang pwedeng palagay nyo madaling makakapagbukas?
Um, well, I think the IATF released initial guidance dun sa mga
Mhm.
pwedeng pagpunta natin sa general community quarantine. But we should be very cautious kasi tandaan natin just one case can lead to another spread of the virus. One case can lead to 1,000 cases in a matter of days if we're not careful. Thankfully, we've been able to stop that from happening in Pasig. Pero going back to your question, anong businesses ba yung mga pwede natin buksan? Uh, excuse me. We have to be very careful na yung mga bubuksan natin are those establishments that can maintain social distancing. So halimbawa, siguro wag muna yung dine-in.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so-
kumbaga, yung sa akin po, hindi nga kung anong, pag sinabi natin food industry, hindi pa rin buong food industry. So take out, delivery, that's fine. Pero yung dine-in, hindi po.
Okay. Yung mga factories natin at saka warehouses, kasi katulad dito sa bandang baba ng Pasig, marami akong alam na mga factory, well, actually mga warehouse sila na nagsusupply ng maraming industriya. Let's say, for instance, polymer industries dyan sa bandang baba, they supply all the fiberglass requirements all over. Paano yung mga yan, yung mga suppliers?
Right. Yung mga masasabi natin na essential services yung ginagawa nila or essential goods yung pinoproduce nila, whether it's a factory or I think by GCQ, pwede na sila magbukas, yung ibang sarado pa sa ngayon. But what mas malaking cause of concern for us, yung mga nasa service sector po natin, yung BPOs for instance.
Okay.
Mas kailangan pag-ingatan po natin ito. Kasama na po, babanggitin ko na rin po yung sa mga POGO. There are POGOs operating in Pasig. Even without the blessing of the local government unit, they are operating. That's a reality. So kung sasabihin, pwede na ang mga POGO, we have to be very, very, very careful. Or will they be exercising social distancing in their, I don't know if you want to call them call centers or in their offices. Will they exercise social distancing? Paano natin sila makokontrol pag nasa loob na sila ng mga opisina nila?
Parang ang labo naman nun, Mayor, kasi when you think about it, pwede naman mag-work from home lahat siyang mga yan. Ginagawa, ang sister ko nagtatrabaho sa New Zealand, sinabi niya karamihan ng mga BPO doon work from home na. And that is supposed to be our transition para nga makatulong na mabawasan yung mga contamination or infection.
Tama po yun. And going back to the BPO industry, na medyo marami po dito, Ortigas area and some other areas in Pasig, marami pong BPOs.
Yes.
We're actually working on an ordinance that will give them incentives for promoting work from home sa mga empleyado nila.
Wow, this is hindi naman sa binubola kita, no? Pero ngayon ko lang nadinig na may actual LGU na nag-o-offer na ng incentives for work from home. Paano gagawin niyo, Mayor?
Yes, Sir Sito, hindi pa siya pulido yung ordinance.
Yeah.
It's still dinadraft pa lang siya ng mga lawyers namin and experts. We're also consulting some business people. Pero we're trying to consider giving them tax breaks or other incentives if they allow their employees to work from home and they provide the infrastructure for work from home. Actually, I just mentioned, we were actually already drafting this ordinance before ECQ started. Pero syempre, nagka-ECQ, biglang daming mga urgent matters at hand. So medyo natabunan na ng konti. So now we're working on it again.
Siyempre, I'm assuming na because Pasig City will be giving the incentive or making the sacrifice, may kapalit yan. And ang kapalit, I assume, would be that their employees must be residents of Pasig.
Yes, yes. So, but we will see, ano, basta yung kasi yung company mismo, we consider them as residents of Pasig, even hindi sila uh, natural persons, but we consider them as residents of Pasig. So if they're providing jobs dito sa lungsod ng Pasig, we want to help them.
Okay, since napag-usapan nyo na yung mga incentives, taxes, etc. and lawyers, inaaral nyo na rin ba yung problem of many other LGUs? I don't know if you have that same problem because about 2-3 weeks ago, the Finance Secretary Sunny Dominguez said na nagkakaproblema sila sa tax collection
Right.
dahil yung mga company sa NCR. Kayo dyan sa Pasig, ano ang situation nyo sa tax collection?
Right, same with us. Sa ngayon, right now, today, basically wala kaming collection sa kahit anong klase ng tax. We've tried to take certain steps to help out businesses. For example, yung deadline and extend po natin even before the DOF said to extend it. Ano, ngayon, may instructions na tayo from the BLGF, DOF, na i-extend without penalties.
Yeah.
Yung taxes na kailangan bayaran nila. Kasama na kahit amilyar, hindi lang sa businesses, pero lahat ng taxes, obligations of people to the city, we have extended the deadline without penalties. Hopefully this will help.
Okay. Last question, Mayor. Kamusta naman po yung social amelioration program dyan o bumubunot na lang kayo sa sariling bulsa ng Pasig?
Yung sa DSWD National Social Amelioration Program or SAP, halos tapos na po namin. Meron na lang pong ilan naiiwan in some barangays na hindi pa nabibigyan. Ito yung mga replacement doon sa listahan kasi meron pong mga nakita hindi pala qualified, na delist. So yung mga replacement, yun na lang yung kailangan natin bigyan. But again, 93,000 families lang po yun. Ang kailangan matulungan sa Pasig, way more than 200,000, closer to 300,000 families. So mahigit kalahati po nabigyan ng tulong. So ang ginawa po ng lokal na pamahalaan ng Pasig, approved ng aming sanggunian panlungsod, ay yung supplemental SAP. So inilunsad po namin yung supplemental SAP, and this week we have already started. I'm still waiting for the report kung ilan bahay na po or ilan pamilya na yung nabigyan nito. But 8,000 pesos for each family of Pasig, as they need it, they can receive the 8,000 pesos.
Okay, pagka ganyan naman at talagang tumutulong at nakikita namin ng mga ginagawa niyo, Mayor, happy naman kaming magbayad ng buwis at magbayad ng tama. Maraming salamat, Mayor. Please stay strong, stay safe, and stay healthy, and God bless you.
Thank you, Sir Sito. Can I say one more thing tungkol po sa amelioration yung sa supplemental SAP po natin? Baka kasi may mga nanonood dito na yung mga nangangailangan, hindi na po kasi namin mapipili sino ba dito yung nangangailangan, sino ba yung nawala ng trabaho. We don't have the database, we don't have the list for that. Pero hinihikayat ko po ang mga pamilya na may kaya naman, yung mga nakakakain naman ng 3 o mahigit pa beses sa isang araw, wag na po kayong kumuha dito sa supplemental SAP. We have a budget for 150,000 families. There will be around 160,000 families who need this. So sana po yung nasa top 10%, yung medyo may kaya, mayayaman, nakakaluwag sa buhay, huwag niyo na pong kunin yung 8,000 pesos para sigurado pong mabigyan yung mga mas nangailangan, lalo na po yung may hirap. Thank you po.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Mayor, and God bless you.
Maraming salamat po. Ingat po.
Okay, yan po si Pasig City Mayor Vico Sotto, and regarding his last statement, kung kayo po ay may makakagawa ng paraan, wag na nating iasa pa sa pamahalaan kasi marami hong tao na talagang walang-wala. Walang mautangan, walang mapuntahan, wala nang mahingian, at umaasa na lang sa bayan, sa gobyerno, sa pamahalaan. Kung sasali pa tayo doon, medyo foul na ho yun. And I know that that is a sure step to poverty because the Lord will not honor that. Kung kayo po ay kumakain naman ng maayos, yung inyong relief good na dinala ng barangay, ibigay nyo na doon sa mga walang kaya sa barangay or ibalik nyo sa barangay para maitulong sa iba. I mean, we Filipinos have dignity, have honor. We are not people who take advantage at the cost of others. So medyo yan lang po, no, medyo ating pag-uusapan yan later. But in the meantime, while we are talking about local politics, allow me to bring in Bohol Governor Artiap kasi na-surprise ako doon sa text message niya sa akin the other day when I was trying to talk about the Balik Probinsya movement. It's a proposal for those stranded in Metro Manila, those who are fed up with Metro Manila, those who want to go back home to the provinces, to be allowed to be assisted, etc. And sabi ni Governor Art Yap, well, I let him do the talking. Governor Art Yap, are you there, my friend?
Ay, Bossito,
Okay.
magandang umaga sa'yo. Tsaka sa lahat mo nakikinig sa... Ikaw,
Hindi.
Pinapain mo ako,
Hindi. Mabuti na yung malinaw, Governor. Kasi alam mo, we want this program to succeed. At marami ang nagtutulak nitong Balik Probinsya kasi mahirap naman na magsapalaran kaming lahat dito sa Metro Manila. Tapos kayo, ang sarap-sarap ninyo, nakahiga kayo sa ilalim ng nyog, nasa may beach.
Di naman.
But in any case, medyo naibigla ako dun sa reaction mo na sinabi mong hindi balik probinsya, parang lumalabas, balik munisipyo. Anyari?
Hindi, yun nga yung gusto naming malaman. Kasi kahit na yung mga governors, nag-uusap rin kami. Meron kaming ongoing Viber group dyan. Tinanong ko kasi yung mga kasama namin sa House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, si Deputy Speaker El Rey, sinabi ko sa kanya, kamusta yung provisions? Ang lumalabas nga, most of the provisions are still bringing down the funds straight to the mayors. Yun lang yung joke na tinext ko sa'yo, na private joke sa'yo, na yung parang sinasabi ng ibang governor, dapat ang ipangalan nila, balik munisipyo na lang, hindi balik probinsya. And let me frame this in the proper context, Sito, before people misunderstand. You see, if we are going to consolidate the programs kasi under a provincial government framework, and then you bring down the funds together with your mayors. We have nothing against our mayors, no. Of course, mga partner namin yan, sa totoo lang kahit na kami sa probinsya. Pero the provincial government has bigger assets, it has a bigger capacity to harmonize and to consolidate programs. So pag binababa namin yun, pwede namin i-rationalize. So pag sinabi mong balik probinsya program, kung gusto mong pauwiin yung mga tao dito, you have to make sure na meron silang gagawin dito. Para doon sa mga gustong bumalik na may MSME bent sila, gusto nila mag-umpisa ng mga negosyo, meron ng existing programs. Like, I will not speak for other provinces. But for example, for Bohol, nag-set aside kami ng 50 million na capital fund. Meron kaming venture capital fund na loan program for MSMEs. These are low-interest loans to MSMEs. Tapos tinapatan ko pa yon ng another 200 million na surety guarantee program for MSMEs. Yun yung incentive namin for people to work at home.
Okay.
You just stay there. We will give an additional 200 million. Tapos yung talagang pinakawalang-wala, yung startup, yung mga 5,000 pesos lang, may 50 million fund kami na sinet aside doon. But doon sa mga gustong bumalik sa farming, anong gagawin mo gusto mong umuwi ng probinsya, gusto mong mag-farming, wala naman tubig. Diba? Wala kang tubig doon. So kung wala kang tubig, like we have, meron kaming issue dito ng, nag-iwan kami ng 110.9 million na capital fund for water development project for all barangays. So ang point noon is, kung binababa yung pondo sa amin, pwede namin gamitin counterpart yan. Kasi kami nag-set aside na. At ako yung commitment ko nga dito sa mga barangay. Kung kailangan humiram yung provincial government sa land bank para magbigay lang ng nitong mga additional funds for water, hihiram kami. We are even willing to borrow money. Kasi 110 yung parang equity na binibigay namin sa mga barangay ngayon. We're even willing to borrow. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko sa Land Bank, intindihin mo rin kami, sabi ko sa kanila, Sito, because imagine kami, ang mga loan program namin dito, this is IRABAC. This is internal revenue allotment guaranteed. So if you say that interest is a function of risk, ano yung risk para sa kanila? Eh yung binibigay nilang credit line sa amin, IRABAC yun. So pwede namin kunin yun, ipahiram namin ng 0 interest or 1.5 interest rate sa aming mga MSMEs. Kaya sinasabi namin sa Land Bank, we want to spend, gusto namin kayong tulungan. Ang sinabi nyo, naka 400 billion na kayo. Kulang na yung pera ng gobyerno. May credit line ang mga LGU, lalo na mga probinsya. And like in the case of Bohol, that is more than 2 billion. Anong gagawin natin sa 2 billion na yan? Papahiram nyo sa amin at 5%, Sito? Eh ganun pa rin, 5%. Ipapahiram natin yan sa MSME at 5%. Eh hindi kakayanin. Ang hinihingi nga namin kung pwede, Sito, is hindi lang 2 to 3 months na may grace period. Kailangan habaan yung grace period. I-restructure na.
It's ironic, Gov, kasi bibili ako ng TV, bibili ako ng refrigerator, 12 months, zero interest. Pero itong developmental program na binaback ninyo with almost a sovereign guarantee, tatagain pa kayo ng 5%.
Yun nga sinasabi ko, baka pwede naman, ibaba nyo na yan. In fact, other countries and even some of our economies are going for negative interest na eh. Some of our economists are saying dapat negative interest. Kasi Sito, imagine, bigyan mo siya ng 2 to 3 months break na hindi siya magbayad. Ang assumption mo, sa 3rd or 4th month, makakabayad na siya. What makes you think that's possible? Eh wala nang turista eh. Sa amin ang main income namin, ang main income source namin, yung remittance na bumabagsak ngayon. Kung hindi remittance, edi yung tourism. And then number 3, agriculture.
Correct.
Tatlo lang yung source ng ekonomiya namin. Ilan lang natamaan.
Doblado yung problema mo ngayon kasi this is something that is not being discussed and I hope that we in Agenda can really put it in the front. OFWs are returning by the plane loads. Sa inyo sa Bohol, ano ang tama ninyo? How will the return of unemployed OFWs impact Bohol?
Ang tinanong ko nga yung OWA, sabi nila medyo 5 to 10,000 daw ang possible na umuwi. So, parang sinasabi natin yon 5 to 10,000 families yon, Sito. 5 to 10,000 families yon. O at kung 10,000 families, edi automatically may umuwi na isang breadwinner galing abroad. Ang impact nun, edi meron kang 50,000 na additional people na may problema. So, yun yung impact sa amin.
Okay, now, para hindi tayo maligaw, no? Going back to this Balik Probinsya program, you told me that there's a Viber group among governors. I know that Governor Epi Velasco, I think Marinduque ba yun, was saying na kung papabalikin nyo yung mga OFW o yung mga tao from Metro Manila, dapat lahat sila ma-rapid testing, etc. What are the other concerns of governors in that Viber group? Kung matutuloy itong Balik Probinsya program, what are your initial thoughts or suggestions?
Ako, kailangan, kung uuwi sila dito, number 1 is, tama yung sinabi mo, yung hindi lang yung testing, talagang PCR testing kailangan. Pag uwi dito, PCR testing, tapos kailangan i-house namin sila sa quarantine. Matulungan kami doon ng OWA. Kahit na 1,000 pesos per day lang, malaking tulong, or 1,500 pesos per day, malaking tulong yun sa amin. Kasi siyempre, pag uwi dito, kailangan i-quarantine namin yan. Pagkatapos namin i-quarantine sila, pagbalik nila sa yung Balik Probinsya na yan. Kasi we're not only considering OFWs, Sito eh. Pati yung mga na-stranded dyan, na wala ng trabaho, na gusto nang umuwi, pauuwiin natin sila. Kaya nga yung importante doon, iba-iba yung makeup ng ng local economy namin. Ang local economy ng Bohol, ito na, tinatapatan na namin. Meron na kaming 50 million na venture capital fund. Meron na kaming 200 million na surety guarantee fund para at least sa mga MSME namin. O baka naman pwede, boss, tulungan mo naman kami dito. Kuma-counterpart na kami, kumakasa na kami dito eh. Kung kami nagpapahiram na kami, tulungan mo rin kami. Kasi ganito yan eh. Kung akala natin na magpapahiram ka, and then magne-negosyo na siya kaagad, hindi mangyayari yun. Kasi number one, kung merong gustong magbukas ng salon, ng wellness, ng karinderya, kung may magbubukas ng barbershop, ng handicraft store dyan,
Oo, ng babuyan.
Babuyan o food processing, gagawa sila ng lahat na yan. What is the new norm? Ano yung new normal dyan, Sito? Ano yung sanitation, hygiene dyan? Tuturuan mo yan, aarmahan mo yan ngayon. Yung mga salon ngayon, yung mga barbershop ngayon, pabubuksan ko lang ba ng ganun yun? Siyempre, kailangan i-training mo yun. Pupunta ka doon. Yung mga nipper mo, yung mga clipper mo, yung mga scissors mo, malinis ba yan? Marami kang ituturo, kaya kailangan may grant portion yun at meron ka rin ipapahiram doon to get all these MSMEs going. So ngayon, ang Bohol, meron na kaming 250 million na tinatabi dyan. Pero kukulangin yan. Kasi kailangan nga ng grant portion eh. Bibigyan mo siya ng tulong. We have to arm him again. We have to retool. We have to readapt. New norm eh. Ano magagawa natin? Matagal pa tong sinasabing COVID na problem na to.
How long do you think itong Balik Probinsya program, gaano aabot bago mapatupad to ng matino?
It will take time kasi maraming right yesterday, umikot nga ako. Kinausap ko yung mga farmers, namimigay rin kasi kami ng cash for work program. So, pinalinis ko lahat ng kanal. So, right now, lahat ng yung mga irrigators association dito, may 50 na irrigators groups dito, binibigyan ko sila ng pondo, cash for work. Sige, maglinis kayo ng mga kanal ninyo. Para pag dumating yung ulan, at least ready na. At saka yung mga irrigated areas, pag nagtatanim sila ngayon, hindi sayang yung tubig. So, it's going to take some time. Sa pag-ikot ko kahapon, ang dami namin mga programa, hindi nga umaabot sa kanila eh. Aaminin ko na yun. Even as provincial government, nagtatanong ako. So, kailangan na bilisan yung implement. And kaya nga sinasabi ko, we need the mayors as well. Hindi kakayanin ng provincial government lang. But kung ibigay kasi yung pondo at yung main release sa provincial governments together with our mayors, mas mararationalize namin. Ilan yung mga munisipyo concentrated sa pagkain, ilan sa microfinance na sabihin natin mga handicrafts, iba naman sa food production, iba naman sa basic agriculture.
So basically, Governor Yap, everybody must be on the same boat, rowing to the same direction. Hindi yung pinapadala yung pera sa mga mayor because it's now beginning to look like a political financial release.
Yes, oo. Yun ang nangyayari. Meron nga silang pa-release ngayon sa mga, I don't know kung nabalita mo na Sito, may additional 5,000 na binibigay sa mga farmers ngayon. Pero yung 5,000 na yun, basta parang bigay lang. But can you imagine Sito? Sabi ko, teka muna. Ilan dito sa Bohol? Sabi nila 53,000 daw na farmers bibigyan ng 5,000. So that's about 260 million. Dalawang na yun kung 5,000 Sito, 3 to 4 bags ng fertilizer na yun. May libre kaming seeds dito. May papayag ba ako na tatanggapin lang ng farmer yun ang ganun? Sayang naman. Nagtatanim na rin sila Imagine, 4 na bag ng fertilizer yun. Tatapatan mo ng tubig ngayon, tas yung equipment ng probinsya, tapos may libreng 1 bag ng binhi, may seeds ka. Di kung ganun ang mangyayari doon, automatic. Kaya natin tumbukin yung 6 tons per hectare to 8 tons per hectare. Pero ngayon, nagbibigayan lang.
Because giving cash will make them basically unproductive. Yung iba, saka na ako magtatrabaho, may pera naman ako.
Yes, at saka kaya nga sinasabi ko, Sito, kailangan tignan natin yung unique personality at situation sa probinsya. Yung palay namin, Sito, umabot kami ng 25 pesos dito. So when you say the farmers are really hit, they're really saying na okay ang presyo ngayon ng palay. Kumikita ang farmer dahil sa 20 pesos, tabla na sila Tabla na sila sa 20, nasa 25 ngayon. So sayang naman, ibibigay mo yung 5,000, ganun lang. Tapatan natin yun.
Palagay ko ang mangyayari, hahaba ang usapan natin. So susunod na kabanata na muna tayo, Governor.
Yes, sir.
Kasi
Yes, sir.
I'm sure this discussion is going to be on the top because marami talaga gusto nang umalis ng Metro Manila at pumunta sa kanilang mga taniman. Thank you very much, Governor
Thank you.
Artiap.
Thank you, boss.
And
Salamat.
pasensya na, akala ko for public consumption, private joke pala yun. Okay, stay strong,
Anytime.
stay safe, and stay healthy. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Salamat po. Salamat po.
Okay, that's Governor Artiap, and we will now go for a quick break. I'm sorry, but you know, he didn't say this is for your eyes only, but apparently his comment na hindi balik probinsya, balik munisipyo, but it's valid. That's why you have governors to basically oversee everything in the province and the mayors to implement everything in the province. But when the national government just hands out, or any department just hands out 5,000 direct to the recipient, kung SAP yan, SAP yan. Pero kung para sa farm yan, medyo careful po tayo kasi yung tamad lalong magiging tamad at yung iba naman hindi nila alam saan gagamitin o paano dapat gamitin yung pondong suporta ng gobyerno. We'll go for a break. We'll be right back. Okay, you're back here on Agenda, and next up, we go north. We go to the province of Nueva Vizcaya, where our guest is the governor. He is on his second term as governor of Nueva Vizcaya. Before this, he was a member of the House of the Representatives, Lone District of the province. Maikse, 29 years lang naman. Okay. Governor, Congressman, magandang umaga, sir.
Magandang umaga rin po, Sito. Long time no hear.
Yes,
of course,
sir.
we always see you on TV.
Mabuti na lang na lahat tayo nagtatrabaho para sa bayan. In any case, Governor, how is the situation in Nueva Vizcaya maliban sa, I suppose, sobrang init dyan sa probinsya nyo ngayon?
Well, kung i-compare mo sa ibang probinsya, we are better off in terms of init. Kasi kung mainit halimbawa sa Isabela o Cagayan, mas malamig na konti ang Nueva Vizcaya.
Because you're higher.
We are not so cool as Baguio, pero sumusunod kami sa Baguio, Sito.
Ayun. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Now, in terms of our common problem, common headache, COVID-19, kamusta naman po kayo? Kasi napansin ko na naka-face mask kayo and obviously it's a concern.
Yeah, naka-face mask tayo kasi una Sito, meron tayong national advisory na ang face mask should be everybody should wear a face mask. Of course, kung nag-iisa ako ngayon dito sa ating one-on-one, kaya pinaba ko yung ating mask para mas klaro yung dating ko sa iyo.
Of course.
Dito naman sa Nueva Vizcaya, hopefully we are able to do what we are supposed to do kasi based doon sa ating mga datos, so far mula nung mag-umpisa noong December ang ating common enemy, itong pandemic na ito, siyam pa lang ang nag-positive dito sa Nueva Vizcaya. Sa siyam na ito, of course, isa yung namatay, 72 years old, 65 years old. Pero yung 7, naka-recover sila, iisa na lang out of the 9 ang naka-quarantine. Hinihintay na lang yung resulta ng swab test niya. Yung kasama niya, the other day was released na sa quarantine kasi nag-negative, nag-normalize. Kaya sana ito ay magandang indikasyon para sa aming probinsya, Sito.
Okay. Kamusta naman po in terms of livelihood? Kasi maraming talagang yung nasa ECQ gusto nang mapunta sa GCQ, yung mga nasa GCQ ay gusto nang mabalik normal yung kabuhayan nila. I know that Nueva Vizcaya is primarily agricultural and also mining. Ano po ang sitwasyon ngayon dyan?
Well, sa agricultural, tama yun, Sito. Because I would say from 25 to 30% of our people are dependent on farming as their livelihood. Hindi pa natin isinasama rito yung mga directly or indirectly nakikinabang dahil sa agriculture. Kaya yan ay naging isang bentahe ng Nueva Vizcaya kasi even during ECQ, ang sinasabi ng gobyerno, kailangang huwag pabayaan ang ating farm supply, huwag natin pabayaan ang ating agrikultura, hindi kasama sa mga naka-lockdown ang mga farmers, they have to go to the farm para sa ganun, tuloy-tuloy din ang supply ng pagkain, hindi lang sa Nueva Vizcaya, kundi sa buong Pilipinas.
And in-announce ni Secretary Dar again kahapon sa programa na basta farm workers and agriculture-related production, merong green light lahat yan. So, dyan okay naman.
Kaya nga, kaninang ini-interview mo si Governor Yap, sinasabi ko, ang advantage namin sa Vizcaya, ang concentration namin ay agriculture. Sila naman is tourism. Alam naman natin, pag ganito ang sitwasyon, bagsak ang turismo. Samantalang kami, kahit ganito ang sitwasyon, tuloy-tuloy ang agrikultura. Ngayon, doon naman sa nabanggit mong mining, yung isang kumpanya naman dito, barely mga 300 lang naman yung workers nila. At saka hindi naman na sila nagtatrabaho ngayon because they're, yung kanilang license to operate, nag-expire na noong last June 2019 pa. Meron pang isang mining company rito, pero about 500 lang. So in other words, sa amin sa Nueva Vizcaya, even without mining, mas masigla ang aming ekonomiya kasi yung mga minahan, sila yung nagko-contaminate sa mga river namin na naapektahan yung mga kabukiran ng mga farmers. So you have 500 you have 500 workers in the mining company, but you have thousands of farmers who are adversely affected because yung waste materials nila kahit paano, hindi lang maiwasang dumaloy sa ating mga ilog at mga sapa, Sito. At ito ay nakaka-apekta sa ating mga agricultural lands.
So clearly may environmental impact sa inyo yung mga minahan. Pero how about in the situation where we have COVID-19? Kasi we're supposed to have a lockdown. Ang balita ko may mga lumalabas-pasok pa ng mga truck dyan or tankers, etc. Or paano nila nilalabas yung produkto nila?
Yung sa ngayong GCQ, they are allowed fully to operate. Of course, they are also advised na mag-maintain ng skeletal force. Okay. Yung naging issue kasi doon sa isang barangay sa DTPO, it is not mining per se. Pero meron kasi silang mga equipment doon na kailangan daw ng dewatering every now and then. And they need those facilities, kailangan magpasok sila ng fuel para mapaandar. Para, well, hindi ko maintindihan kung ano yung proseso ng dewatering. Dahil ang sabi nila, if we would not dewater, pati yung village will be adversely affected. So that's the reason kung bakit inorderan kami ng national government to allow the tankers to come in para sa ganun mag-deliver ng fuel. So far naman, 3 tankers pa lang ang pumasok mula nung mga 2 or 3 weeks ago. But hopefully, ito'y isang issue na ma-resolve ng gusto kasi nagkakaroon ng tension sa area namin Sito because of that.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, last question ko na lang, Gov. Hindi ba kayo apektado? Is your economy dependent on OFW remittances also or hindi masyado?
Well, marami rin kaming mga OFWs, kaya lang wala kaming datos kung ilang percentage. Sa
Okay.
aking estimate kasi sa buong Pilipinas, about 10% of our GDP ang nakikinamang, ang nanggagaling sa mga remittances.
Yeah.
Sapagkat kinuwenta ko nung ako nasa Kongreso, pag pinag-uusapan namin yung mga issues ng OFWs, so ang estimate ko about 10% of the entire GDP ng Pilipinas galing sa mga remittances. But how many of these ang share ng Nueva Vizcaya, wala kaming accurate na datos pa sito. But hopefully, marami sa aming mga taga Nueva Vizcaya rin ang nasa Hong Kong, Singapore, nasa Middle East, etc. Kaya kahit paano, magkakaroon din ng epekto sa amin.
Hindi pa naman, it has this issue of returning OFW, hindi pa naman nagiging issue sa Nueva Vizcaya because I heard the president of the Governors League, si Epi Velasco, saying na kung magpapauwi ang national government ng mga OFW sa mga probinsya, they should all be tested. Now, what is the concern of your province as far as the return of OFWs and also keeping COVID-19 out of the province?
Well, yung kasing mga advisory ng national government, we see to it na properly implemented sa amin and properly coordinated with OWA and other agencies. So halimbawa, one of the advisories is you have to undergo a 14-day quarantine. We see to it na naka-quarantine muna sa Maynila dahil kung hindi naka-quarantine, no way na papapasukin namin sa Nueva Vizcaya.
Mhm.
Kaya mahigpit kami dyan. Kaya ang ginagawa namin Sito, we try to harmonize yung sitwasyon sa ground at saka sa mga advisories na galing sa national government.
Okay. Well,
Kung meron mang issue, we are able to trace out with the agencies concerned like OWA.
okay. Any last message or meron ba kayong gusto ipaabot sa mga tiga Nueva Vizcaya, lalo na yung mga kawawang natrap sa Metro Manila ng ECQ? Marami-rami rin yata.
Tama yan, Sito. In fact, yan ang isang concern namin ngayon. Kaya sabi namin, yung balik probinsya, 2 phases ito. Yung isang phase, yung proposal ni Senator Bongo. Pero that is long range. Ang immediate concern namin is yung mga na-trap using your language sa Metro Manila and elsewhere na mga estudyante at saka mga workers. At right now, we are busy attending to them. Kasi pati yung mga guidelines, napakahirap din sundan or sundin. Dahil kasi one of the requirements that we are asking bago sila umuwi, meron silang medical certificate coming from the city or municipal health officer or agency of that LGU where they are coming from. Dahil ang sabi namin, pauwi namin kayo, pero kayo ang magdadala ng kayo carrier dito sa aming probinsya o sa ating probinsya, we would rather protect the interests of the greater majority kaysa yung mga ilang uuwi na sila ang carrier. Kaya non-negotiable yung medical certificate na dapat they have to secure or they have to undergo such minimum lang naman medical examination or minimum medical standards ito.
Okay, thank you very much, Governor. And we hope that you stay strong, stay safe, and stay healthy. God bless you, sir.
Well, I would like to inform you na the other day, dahil ako po yung nagpa-lab test din, dumating po yung resulta, negative. Negative po
Okay.
tayo sa COVID.
Okay, praise God. Thank you, sir. Okay, that's Governor Padilla of Nueva Vizcaya. And let's move on to our next and final guest for the day, John Leo Algo. He is the program manager of Living Laudato SI Philippines, or LLS. I don't know. Okay, there we go. John, good morning to you.
Good morning po, Mr. Beltran, and good morning po sa lahat ng nanonood. And I hope everyone is safe and sound, especially during these times.
Okay, John, I'm curious about your introduction. You are the program manager at Living Laudato SI Philippines, an interfaith movement campaigning for the divestment of major financial institutions from fossil fuels and the empowerment of citizens for lifestyle and attitudinal shifts towards sustainability. I think, in simple terms, you don't want bankers, investors buying shares of stocks or buying into petroleum companies or subsidiaries. Tama ba yun?
Tama po yun, sir, no? At our institution specifically wants to address the elephant in the room, kumbaga, when it comes to why these environmentally destructive practices are still happening, no, despite the fact that we all now know that climate change, environmental degradation, these are very real threats and they're happening right now, even during this pandemic po, no? Habang tayo po ay nasa bahay, hindi makalabas. While we're dealing with this health crisis, we still have a lot of environmental issues to deal with. And
Well, yeah. John, sorry to cut in there, no, but a lot of people are commenting that thank you COVID-19. The air pollution is practically gone in Metro Manila. Thank you COVID-19. We don't have traffic, etc., etc. Does this challenge groups like you to change your approach and focus on people changing their lifestyle, their vehicle choices? Kasi kanina may nakita akong news item na sinasabing tinuturuan na ang mga government employees magbisikleta and sinasuggest na imbis na mga kotse, bus, motorsiklo na lang.
in one way po, no, that's a good way to look at it po, no, sir, kasi what we need to figure out is that the COVID-19 pandemic in itself is not just a health crisis, but it's also a reflection on how we treat our environment. And in a very ironic way, air pollution po has been determined po, no, na it actually makes people more vulnerable to viruses such as COVID-19. And that is because kapag ang ating resistensya, ang ating immune system ay mahina dahil, for example, dito po sa Metro Manila, no, we are very aware of how polluted our air was before the lockdown started. And that means, paglabas pa lang po ng bahay ng ating mga, for example, elderly, at hindi sila naka-face mask, at nalalanghap nila yung pollution, no, nagiging mas vulnerable sila sa mga diseases, kagaya po ng COVID-19. But in an ironic way, as I said, dahil nagkaroon po ng lockdown because of this COVID-19, naging mas malinis po ang hangin because our economic activities, yung transportation, the way our economy works, no, more activities, which means more pollution, especially with our air. But because of the lockdown, nagkakaroon po tayo ng pagbaba ng air pollution in different parts of the Philippines and around the world as well.
Yeah, okay. So what would be the practical approach of your organization? Kasi I gather that you want corporations to divest or not to invest on fossil fuel corporations, etc. I get that. But nowadays, it seems that people are more interested in doable. I just interviewed Mayor Vico Sotto, and sa kanila, they're giving incentives to corporations like BPOs, etc., to keep their employees working from home. Now, in the case of Living Laudato SI, what would be a very doable right now?
So, importante po ngayon siguro na yung information dissemination, especially among businesses, schools, different institutions. Importante po itong information dissemination. And I think it's also very important to understand po, no, na yes, it is important na ma-pressure natin yung mga corporations to stop funding these environmentally destructive practices. But at the same time, sa aming organization, we also believe that small-scale solutions are just as important as big-scale solutions. Dahil ultimately, kung wala pong demand, for example, for this particular type of practice from the customer base, for example, then the businesses will not be offering those kinds of practices in the first place. No? So in our situation, sa Living Laudato Si Philippines, we try to focus on empowering citizens to make sure that they have a role to play in addressing our environmental problems, climate change, these kinds of things. So we try to promote, for example, since we're talking about air pollution po, no? Yung installing bicycle infrastructure in the Philippines. I think it would be very important, no, for Filipinos everywhere to understand the importance ng clean transportation. And since walang pag ganun po ang case, no, if we practice more bicycle riding or just in becoming more pedestrian friendly sa ating mga kalsada in different cities around the country, then I think it'll be very beneficial. Ito po yung mga paraan na maintindihan ng ating mga mamamayan na this is how air pollution affects us, and this is one of the ways that we can contribute.
I guess what we will have to do, John, is for you guys, John Leo, to find champions who will once the ECQ, GCQs are lifted, who will carry the fight as far as riding bicycles, as far as environmental friendly behavior and lifestyle is concerned. And we will look forward to more suggestions from you that we can present on the program. I'll have to leave it at that because I am being kicked out of the airspace right now. We've run out of time. Thank you very much, John Leo Algo. Please stay strong, safe, healthy, and God bless you.
Take it easy po, sir. At sa lahat po nating mga manonood, stay safe and have a nice day.
Okay, that's John Leo Algo of LLS, and that's it for the day. We thank the Lord that He gave us such a great day in terms of connectivity, and the program's been fluid. Our guests have all been great, and at the end of the day, just picking up from what John Leo said, you all have choices. Don't buy PE container. Don't buy products that are in plastic containers. Use a bike, walk, work from home. Because if anything, COVID-19 ECQ has taught us is that we can do so much while not having to go outdoors and contributing to the mess out there. You stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and God bless all of you. I will just pick it up from here tomorrow on Agenda.